the kitchen of intrigue, Kurt Jackson and Chris Callell are cooking up a batch of mystery soup.
Each episode serves a new blend of tips, tactics, trends, and tales from the business and design sides of the escape room world.
So grab your spoon, because this episode starts in 3, 2, 1.
Mystery Soup.
Welcome back to the Mystery Soup Podcast. I'm Kurt, and with me, as usual, is Chris. Hey, Chris.
As you say it like it's a
well, it's not as always
usual.
because you missed a couple, so it's not as always. It has to be as usual.
Have I missed a couple?
Yes, you at least one.
Oh, I am so sorry, listeners. Those must have been hard to hear.
I hate you. Oh my goodness!
So lucky to have me.
Yeah, you just got back from Seattle for this recording. From Seattle to Indiana.
We brought all of our warmest clothes because it was freezing cold here in Indiana. We're like, oh, it's got to be at least -50 in Seattle. It doesn't get that cold there apparently.
No, I mean
it was like 40 something. It was nice. Yeah,
did it rain at all?
It didn't. The entire time we were there, all of whatever 4 or 5 days, zero rain.
Wow.
And so I think we got their entire sunny season while we were there.
Nice. And you still did not do any escape rooms. I'm very disappointed in you.
The only one that was downtown looked a little sketch. So we did not. It was too expensive to drive outside of the downtown to go do them.
No, that's fair. It is expensive to get around there.
And poor Kurt, they don't pay us camp directors like they used to.
Like they used to? They never have.
Yeah,
are you kidding me? Oh my goodness. This is the career. This was a choice as far as a career goes. That's about all I can say.
And you're in a new place? How's it going?
I am in a new place, living right underneath the escape room, actually.
Yeah.
In these studio loft type thing. It's very urban living. I mean, you
cool.
can't see it, but to the side it's like brick wall.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's no walls as far as like separation between like a bedroom or anything, but it's 1,500 square feet. So it's a lot of room. It's 2-story, but it's very urban. It's very urban.
When I come and visit, where's the guest bedroom?
In the basement. So we've got an air mattress all ready for you.
Yes. That's all I need.
All right. So let's jump into this. We're excited that we have Kristina from One Way Out, the owner of One Way Out, with us. Hey, Kristina.
Great name for an escape room.
Hello. Thank you guys for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. We met at, oh my gosh, what was the name of it?
The PuzzleCon.
PuzzleCon. Yes. I don't know why I blanked there. But yeah, so we met at PuzzleCon, and during kind of the general sessions, we sat at the same table and talked some. And I have this connection with Kristina because Kristina bought her escape room business. Like it was already existing, just as Tina and I have purchased this one. So I want to dive into that. And how are things going there at One Way Out?
They're going pretty good.
Yeah.
We're getting into our busy season now. So that's exciting.
Which is so weird because that's kind of the same thing here, but being from the Orlando area, the busy season is, well, it's always kind of a busy season, but really it's when school is out, summer and vacations and stuff like that. And here it's winter because nobody wants to be outside.
Kristina?
Right. We're in Lynchburg, Virginia. It's a pretty big college town, which is why school being out is also our slow season because all the students leave. So we're just relying on families to play at that point. But we get pretty busy in the winter time because people are looking for something to do indoors, and busy during the school year in general because of all the college students.
Yeah. Well, cool. Well, let's start off with you telling us about yourself outside of escape rooms. Hobbies, pets, I don't know. What do you got?
I don't know that I have much of a personality outside of escape rooms anymore, but
It's all wrapped into that, huh?
no, I was born and raised in Lynchburg, so I've been here my whole life.
Mm.
Very much a cat person. My boyfriend and I have 7 cats between the two of
Oh
us.
my God.
His niece
No.
likes to call our house Kitty Land, so it's adorable. Really like to travel, especially like for escape rooms, but
Hmm.
also for some of the on-set cinemas that Myers House, North Carolina puts on. I've seen The Conjuring played at The Conjuring House,
The
and
what?
The Conjuring movie played
Oh, The
at the
Conjuring.
house that it was
Oh,
filmed
yeah,
at.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so those are a lot of fun.
Chris. Chris is
Mostly
not
just
into any
traveling.
scary thing, any
Zero,
horror.
zero scary. No, no. A big chicken. So it doesn't take much. Um, Lynchburg, Virginia. What is Lynchburg famous? What's it famous for?
Liberty University.
Okay.
Yeah. That's usually what people know it for.
Like I've heard the name, but I don't know what I could place it with. Lynchburg, Virginia. So how long like have you been doing the escape rooms? When did you get hit by the escape room bug?
I got hit by the escape room bug when I started working at One Way Out. I was looking for a fun part-time job. I was a 16-year-old in high school that just wanted something fun to do for extra money. And both One Way Out and another escape room were opening up around the same time. So I applied to both, and it took like 9 months to get hired. But I did get hired on at One Way Out. And One Way Out is where I played my first escape room, where we tested The Lost Professor, which is still one of our current games. And it was just all set from there. Anytime I travel, we're playing an escape room. I travel to play escape rooms. I got into some of the design process while working at One Way Out. So I did help design some of our original games when I worked here years
Hmm.
ago.
How many games are you at?
We currently have 5 games, 4 of which I acquired, and one has opened underneath my ownership. But I did play at least a small part in the design process of all of our games. Some of them, it was just a matter of painting the walls. In other games, I actually helped put some of the puzzles into the room.
Wow.
How many games have you played?
I've played
Yeah.
Keep track.
240 games
Oh
now.
my goodness, that's amazing.
That's not nearly as many as Kurt.
I know. He's ridiculous.
I mean,
I
that's
mean,
half. That's
he
a,
took an
Yeah, we're
entire
halfway there.
8 months to just
yeah.
fly around and do them.
It
So
really did.
that doesn't even count.
So, Christina, how did this whole you purchasing One Way Out come about?
I always thought about opening up my own escape room. I never fully considered buying One Way Out just because I didn't think the previous owners would ever sell. But I am still really close with the previous owner's uncle, who is also
Hmm.
the main designer for all of our original games. And I was telling him about my hopes and dreams of one day opening an escape room. And he happened to mention it to his nephew and his wife. And they were like, that's interesting. So they reached out to me and we set up a meeting to discuss like numbers and behind the scenes and everything. And it just moved forward from there.
Wow. And is it so did they set up like I mean, you can answer this or not, but as far as like financing this, did was there like a payment plan or were you able to pay it for what they were asking right away or how does that work?
They gave me a number and then I applied for an SBA loan to cover
Okay.
that number as well as working capital for the first couple months. So we started the discussion last May and then in October it was finalized. So it did take a few months, but we got there and I just pay on a business loan right now.
How was working with SBA?
It was very easy. Um,
Really?
it was easier than I expected it to be. It was definitely a lot of paperwork to fill out, but the guy that I was working with made all the steps very straightforward and obvious and answered any questions that I had.
Interesting. Interesting. So, is there only one way out?
Yeah, there's only one way out in our games. One of the games doesn't have any way out technically, but
What?
It's just the one entrance door that's also used as the exit door. So the goal isn't even to escape in that one.
Right.
So you haven't had the place very long. If October is when you got it officially.
I purchased last October, so it's been a little over a year now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome.
Thank you.
Great. And when, I just need to know, because you said you worked there at 16. So when did you graduate high school?
I graduated in 2018.
Okay. That's
Yeah.
that's awesome. I mean,
It's like
that would be
the
cool.
meme where you see all the numbers going around his head and
This is
the math
just
and
thinking
everything.
like how young you are, owning your own business, getting things going. I mean, that's incredible.
Thank
Yeah.
you. It's
I graduated
exciting
a
and
long
it's
time ago, and I
nerve-wracking.
haven't figured things out. So, what were some challenges you had, like some immediate things you had when you took over the business?
I think the biggest challenge for me was trying to operate with a staff that was working against me in the beginning. It took about 6 months to get a staff together that enjoyed being here and worked well with each other as well as myself. So that was a bit of a struggle in the beginning, but I think we have a really good team now, full of really creative and passionate employees that also love escape rooms. So that's a really good thing.
Were there any other challenges?
I think the biggest challenge, not for like the business, but just for me personally, was being so young and not really, I don't have any experience in business or management or marketing or schooling or anything like that. So just trying to learn taxes and policies and codes and
I'm
just
still
trying to
there.
learn all of that stuff was really difficult. And it still is a year into it.
Do the previous owners, are they still involved at all?
Not really. If I have like a really pressing question that nobody else can answer, I do reach out to them and they're always happy to help. But outside of the first like 2 months, they haven't really been involved anymore. When I first took over, we were working on a weekly, almost daily basis, trying to transfer information and answer questions for each other. And we also had a game that was in process of being built when I took over, and I didn't end up opening it, but a couple of the electronics for that game were being designed by the old owners. So just working with him to get those in to use
Yeah.
as well. But after the first 2 or 3 months, they're not really involved anymore.
So they're not like, if you decide to change something, you're not going to feel bad. They're not going to be like, don't change that. That was
No.
really cool. Yeah.
No, they were really great bosses and they're really great friends now.
That's cool.
They said that they have
Change
a
is
lot
good.
of faith in me. You know, they were like, you were one of the best employees we had, and we think you have a lot of vision and are really excited for the changes that I'm making.
Nice, but not the name. You're keeping the name?
I am keeping the name. I very briefly thought about changing it. I had to, I'm sure you might have had to do this too, but I had to create my own company in order to buy One Way Out. So my company name is actually Keyhole Creations, and I very briefly thought about changing the name to that, but I ultimately decided against it just because of the personal history I have with One Way Out working here and playing my first escape room here. And we're also the only escape room in about an hour to an hour and a half drive of here.
Oh, wow.
So I didn't think it was super important to like raise awareness that the ownership had changed or anything. We're still the only escape room here, and changing the name may have actually caused some confusion instead of
Yeah.
brand awareness.
Yep. That's fair.
It is exciting to hear, like Kurt tells me on his trips, all these different names of companies. It's like, I mean, you're only so many names for an
Yeah.
escape room,
Escape
and there's a
this,
lot of escape
that.
rooms out
Yeah.
there.
Oh yeah.
My favorite story, a while ago we were going to do a podcast, and he wanted to call it Escape Llama because he heard about Escape Goat. And we're probably 3 episodes in talking about stuff, and that's when he realized that a scapegoat was a play on words for a scapegoat. He just like, it was a goat. He's like, I thought it'd be fun. We could be a llama. So it's like,
I love
so, I
it.
mean, there's some of that too.
I'm sure it would have been a hit anyway. I mean,
Yeah, it was. I still have my llama. He's somewhere there.
I love it.
Oh my God, Chris.
I'm calling you out. Don't be
You are
editing
calling me
that
out.
So tell me about your games. What games you got there? The one way out.
We currently have 5 games. The 4 that I acquired are The Lost Professor, which is our oldest game at this point. It's going to be 8 years old in March, but it's still thankfully going strong. That
Oh, that's
one
awesome.
is very Indiana Jones inspired. It's a lot of
Okay.
fun. And we have
Mhm.
The Experiment is our second oldest game, which is a science lab, and you guys have been brought in to watch over the scientist's dog while he's on vacation, but then you
Yep.
find out he doesn't actually have a dog and he's just testing on your brain.
Wow.
We have
That
Railway
would be the
Robbery.
saddest job ever to just go there for a dog and there be no dog.
Right?
Right?
There's still dog treats though, so you
Okay.
get a little bit of that.
It's because you're a cat person, right?
Yeah.
It's like
We have Railway Robbery is about you robbing a magician's train car.
Oh,
So it's got some magic stuff, some Old West stuff, a lot of fun stuff going on in there. That's probably our best game for beginners if you're new to escape rooms or like groups with kids. We also have Parables Three Keys.
or
That
us.
one, yeah.
'Cause-
yeah, I mean,
Yeah, sure.
even if we've done several, it's still
Parables Three Keys is our most difficult game. It's got a very low escape percentage, but the groups like a challenge sometimes. So that one, you're locked in a sorceress castle and you have to complete 3 tasks to obtain 3 keys in order to escape the castle. And that one's got some minor Harry Potter and Lord of the Rings and Legend of Zelda references if you're into the fantasy type stuff. And all
Nice.
of those are 10-player games. And then the game that I opened under my ownership is called Amazing Cafe and Bakery. That one is just a 4-player game because it's a very small space. But that one, you've been hired at Amazing Cafe and Bakery. It's your first day on the job, and you have to find Miss May's secret muffin recipe in order to restock the muffins before you open.
I
cool.
love it.
Please play my cafe. I'm so
Yes,
proud of that
Yeah.
one. But I think from
absolutely.
our originals, I'd probably recommend The Lost Professor.
Really? That's why you kept it? You keep it even after 8 years?
Yeah, I thought about revamping it. I wanted to kind of keep the skin of the game, but add some more to the atmosphere and change out like 75 to 80% of the puzzles when I took over. But then I took over and realized how popular it still is, and I didn't think changing things around would make that big of a difference. At least not yet. I may still do that one day. But it's also, like I said, it's the first game I ever played, so it's very near to me, and it's the last of our very, very original games from the 4. The other 3 original games are all closed now, so it's just kind of
Okay.
our piece from like the very beginning too. So if I can keep it open, I will.
Do you have plans to change out any of the games
I
soon?
do. No, not soon.
Not soon.
Um, It's happening. I'm changing out slower than I expected to. I kind of pictured in like a month shutting down Experiment and Paravel and combining those 2 spaces, but the timeline is going by much slower than I anticipated. So I do actually have a space upstairs where I can build a 6th game before needing to shut down
Oh,
one of our others. And it's not like put into effect yet, but I am kind of sort of looking into expanding at the moment too. So if I can expand, I would build rooms in the expansion before shutting down any of the original games over here.
yeah, that makes sense. And are all your games like multi-room or
Unfortunately,
is
not. We only have
okay.
one game that has multiple rooms. With the exception of the cafe, all of our games are 6 to 8 years old right now. So
Yeah.
it's just in one space. They're like 200 square feet. Not
Oh,
as
wow.
big as I would like them to be. But I do want to build bigger and better games moving forward, more immersive with like more than just one space.
Yeah, so everybody in Lynchburg hasn't done all these? You're still getting people to
Apparently
come
not.
in, huh? Yeah.
Yeah, we still
You
get a
keep
lot of
getting
people that come in.
yeah. I mean,
Uh,
you got to keep getting new college students, and so that
that's
helps.
true. That's true.
Yeah, we still get people wandering in, like wondering what the heck an escape room is. I'm like, we've been here for
Hmm.
8 years. You don't know what we are yet? That's crazy.
It is crazy. Um, so your prices are like super low.
Yeah,
They're
they're
22 bucks a person, and
Nice.
you're just about to raise them by $3. So it's
Wow.
very low. Is there a reason for that? Is that just kind of because there's no other escape rooms in the area, right? So it's not like based on market.
when we opened in May of 2016, prices were 18 per person. And when I bought in October of 2023, prices were still 18 per person. So
Wow.
definitely needed to increase prices there, but as a new owner, I was really worried about increasing them by 8,
Yeah,
10, $12 like right off the bat.
true,
So I've
true.
been trying to slowly increase them just so our customer base doesn't get worried about the increase. I guess being the only escape room in the area, I could afford to increase them and I wouldn't technically lose the business probably. But even with just the $4 jump from 18 to 22, I had customers complaining about that. And
Hmm,
I think because we're the only escape room in the area, unless you're an enthusiast, you probably don't know what
true,
the prices are everywhere
Yeah.
else.
true.
So I've just been trying to like slowly increase them. Like you mentioned, we're going up to 25 in January, and then I expect to see another increase in July, which I'm hoping will coincide with the opening of a sixth game. So that'll
Yeah.
kind of cushion that and be like, oh, we're increasing prices because of the new game, but
Mhm.
slowly
I
Yeah.
increasing
I
them.
would be very much if I saw a $25 room, I'd be like, oh, cheap, we're doing it. But
Yeah.
I would also be like, oh, it might be cheap. I don't know if I want to do it like it.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, being the only one in the area, that would throw some things off. But
I fully agree. When I
Yeah.
travel, if I see a game that's 20 or less, I'm like red flag. If it's
yeah,
25 or less, I'm like, okay, that's a good deal still, but it may be a little bit on the lower budget side. So I definitely
mhm,
want to increase the prices, but don't want to scare the customers too much either.
I guess if they're older games and they're only one room games, then
yeah,
it
that's true.
yeah, but if you start making multi-room games and they're new and everything else, yeah, you definitely need to
Right.
increase that.
Mhm,
Do something like uh call it this is a premium game and have like a
Mhm.
premium
mhm,
price for that one kind of
Yeah, that's
thing.
a good
yeah,
point. I think Escape Artist Greenville does
Yep.
that. Yes,
But
those
that's
are great
because
games.
that's where they have their actors in there too.
Right. I
So
don't think
those
we'll
are
get
the
to the point of having full-on actors in the games, but I'd
yeah.
like to have very brief, like kind of an actor situation, not one
Yeah,
you
like
have
an
to interact with.
introduction.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. We do the same thing.
mhm. What I mean, do you do any marketing for the room? Being the only one, do you have to market?
I
A
don't
big,
do a
like one of
whole lot of
Yeah,
those
marketing.
air guys.
that's right.
I don't do a whole lot of marketing. When I first took over, I did try like I did a radio commercial, I did a billboard, I've
Oh,
done a magazine ad, I've done
what?
yearbooks. Like I've tried, I feel like everything at this point, and I don't feel like any of the big buck advertisements bring in any customers, or at
Mhm,
least enough to justify the price of doing that. So I usually just rely on Facebook or Google. I also
yeah,
think putting flyers on the college campuses does great, but you have
Hmm.
to kind of know someone that can go put those up for you too. So,
yeah.
Right,
Even
right.
offering to the
Interesting.
students maybe well, you raise your prices to 30 and then you offer a student discount at
mhm.
25. So,
Yeah, exactly.
but
So none of those marketing, like the billboard, the radio, none of that you felt had kind of moved the needle at all?
No,
Were you able to
unfortunately
track any
not.
of it?
I try to put a coupon code with any type of advertisement I do so that I can
Mhm.
see what kind of business it brings in, and none of those coupon codes got used. So they either didn't bring in any business or they just decided to
Interesting.
pay full price, which I guess is better for me, but
yeah.
I don't know where they
Right.
came from when they do that. So
The
Hmm.
do you have like rack cards in hotels or any of that kind of thing?
we do have rat cards. I don't have them in hotels yet, but I would like to do that very soon.
Yeah, yeah. Cool. Yeah,
Hmm.
marketing's such a tough thing.
Yeah.
I can't think if I mean, now I've done so many escape rooms that it's different. I think marketing works towards your initial people that are maybe new to escape rooms, but I feel like now, I mean, I just hop on Morty and look for what's in the area, and I go there. I don't know if I would look at a billboard or anything like, oh, I should go do that escape room. So yeah, it's with escape room, it's hard because you want to attract those initial people, and you
I
need that stuff.
guarantee, Chris, if you were driving down in your area and you saw a billboard for like a new escape room, you would totally be like, oh, what is that?
New stuff. Yeah, for new, different, new.
Yeah.
I would be all for that. But then, like, I mean, if you've been there for a while, I don't know, maybe not.
That's
No,
true.
I'm
Yeah,
glad you brought that
Morty has
up.
changed the game.
Oh, for
Yeah.
sure. In addition to the Facebook and Google ads, I do also have a coupon code on Morty, and I feel like that brings in more business than any of the physical advertisement has done. So Morty's
Really?
amazing. I love it.
Do you do the
Mhm.
whole like they can book on Morty too?
Yes. Yeah, Andy just had helped me set that up very recently. I think it's worth doing, even like even if it's not worth doing as a business, I think as an enthusiast and just like a supporter of Morty, I enjoy doing it
Mhm.
to make sure Morty stays around for people to continue to use. So even if it doesn't bring me in a lot of business, I still want to continue to do that to support Andy and Morty.
Nice.
I do think
Fair.
it probably does better in some of the bigger cities than the smaller one, but
Yeah.
I do enjoy having it.
Cool.
I would say the last several rooms I did, like Carrie and I went to do, that we just booked straight from Morty. So
Did you? Okay. That's good to know.
It's worth it.
So you offer merch. You have different things, and I know because I talked to you about the whole advent calendar thing.
Yeah.
What other stuff do you sell besides those advent calendars?
We have shirts and hoodies,
Mm-hmm.
hats, like baseball hats, rubber ducks with our logo on them. They're so
Yeah, I
cute.
saw that. I saw the Facebook
Mhm.
post. I was like, they've got Tina was there actually. She's like, they have ducks, and I'm like, we've got to do the ducks.
I love
Yeah.
them. Yeah, I hadn't seen anyone else doing the ducks yet. I'm sure there is someone, but I personally haven't seen anyone yet. And then I just listened to your episode of the podcast this morning and heard you talking about the ducks, and I was like, I gotta show them. But
Nice.
we also have magnets because I've heard you guys talk about magnets on the show and escape rooms not having them. So I got them just for you guys.
Nice. We're
And
gonna
I
pick
have
up a couple
silicone
when we're there.
bracelets.
Yeah.
I love me a silicone bracelet.
Yeah, I know you guys love those too. We do have the silicone bracelets,
That's
stickers,
funny.
lanyards. I got the lanyards
Yes.
mostly for my staff, but you had to order a
Yep.
certain amount, so I'm selling the extras of those. And I have some mugs. I mostly got the mugs because I needed mugs for a puzzle in the cafe, and I just bought extra and I'm selling those too.
Do you have like a certain vendor that you get like the magnets and stickers and stuff from?
I usually use Vistaprint for
Okay.
the clothes and the stickers, the magnets, and I think the mugs come from them too. I use Wristband Bros for the wristbands and the lanyards. And then I got the ducks very recently. I can't remember what that was called.
Are they like you bought the ducks or you bought the sticker to put on the ducks?
No, you can order the ducks like with your logo on them, and they have a bunch of different
What?
ones you can choose from.
Okay, you need to send me that information
Yeah,
like
for sure.
Let me
ASAP.
see that duck. Pull that duck up. Let me see him.
Total rubber
Yeah,
ducky.
that's cool.
I
That's
see the
cool.
Like the right-
influencer thing.
That's right. Yeah.
Can you see?
This is the makeup I'm using.
It's like a squeaky duck too.
That's
Nice. Yeah, I want to know.
That's
We're
awesome.
gonna get some of those, so you definitely got to send me that information.
Yeah,
And
for sure.
Vistaprint, like the apparel, does it come out decent?
I love the Vistaprint apparel.
Really?
I'm obsessed with the hoodies. I absolutely love them. They're so soft.
They
And this
don't
just
have
has
minimums, right? Is that
every place
like
has
Vistaprint?
minimums.
No, I don't think. If I remember right, looking into stuff, I think Vistaprint did not have minimums. I mean, they're a little bit higher when you don't get a certain amount, but
Some have
Like, you
minimums
could-
and some don't. It
Okay.
depends on which one you're getting.
So yeah, it just has your logo on it, or do you do like fun saying type of apparel?
Right
Shirts and
now,
stuff?
it's just our logo. I would like to create some shirts like the vintage cartoon looking shirts with like
Yeah.
horror movie characters and stuff on them. I want to do some of those for my games at some point, but I'd rather do that with newer games than with our old ones. So I'm
Mhm.
kind of waiting to do that. Our shirts and our hoodies just have our logo. I do have one shirt. It's supposed to be our maze with a paint splatter behind it, but I did the paint splatter in our red logo color, so everybody thinks it's blood splatter.
Uh,
Bad move. Um, my last job was painting in construction, so I wanted to incorporate like the painting aspect into that, and I designed the shirt at like 2 a.m. Didn't get anybody's opinion on it, just ordered
oh
it, and
no.
then they arrived, and everyone was like, "Oh, I love these Halloween shirts." I was like, "What are you talking about? They're just paint." And yeah, now I just market them as Halloween shirts.
Yeah, let's just go with it.
And you don't have any horror games, right? None of your games are
Not right now. Lost
scary.
Professor can be scary for like little kids or people that are afraid of the dark or loud noises, but it's not marketed as a scary game.
But do you like to play scary games? Are you into
I
that?
love the scary games. They're
Yeah,
some of my
yeah.
favorite. I do want to open one in the future. I'm thinking about bringing back one of our original games and revamping it to be scarier and have more puzzles and more space.
All right.
But I don't know that our market would do great with a whole lot of horror games.
Yeah,
I don't think it
yeah,
would do super well having more than like one horror game here.
yeah. Chris won't come. That's for sure.
I am definitely the market.
I will say our our horror game or scary game is my favorite one here.
Mm.
Uh, but yeah, there are definitely people who are like, nah, not for me. We're not gonna play that game. But yeah, it is good. And it's fun to run as well.
Oh, I bet.
So what's your best selling merch item?
Our best selling is definitely the escape room advent calendars, but outside of that, the stickers are the most popular and
Hmm.
the wristbands are pretty popular. And
Really?
they are, yeah, they sell pretty well. It's usually kids wanting to buy
So
those.
funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, those sell more than some of the other stuff. And the t-shirts and hoodies are probably the most profitable. We
Yeah.
started offering a 20% off code for the t-shirts and hoodies if you escape within the hour, and that has
Oh,
increased sales on those.
interesting. Interesting
Yeah.
idea. Get a discount if you get out in time. I like that.
I think, do you have, but your stickers are just your logo, right? They're not for each individual game.
Right.
Okay. See,
That's I want to do that.
I would buy one for each game. I'd be like, done it. I mean, I do that with the whatever the escape games. I have their little pins.
I
I
have
have
all the
them here
escape
somewhere.
game pins too. Yeah, those are
Yeah.
so fun.
I like to be able to say I have them and I completed it.
They're so cute.
I
I
would.
was so sad they didn't do pins for the Rugrats game, probably because of
Mm,
licensing reasons, but I went on Etsy and bought a little Reptar pin just for the escape
no,
game
Just to have it. Yeah.
room since they
how
didn't have one.
funny. I thought it'd be cool to have like if for the exact same reason of collecting all of them, but if all of them put together would make a picture or like a puzzle piece or something like that. I
Oh,
think
that'd
that
be
would be
fun.
cool. Yeah.
That's a really good idea. We
You
do
can you
have
can
some
have that.
really fun room posters for all of our games, so I have thought about like minimizing those down into stickers and selling those. I may do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good idea too. Awesome.
Uh, Besides, I mean, you're far away from everyone, so that helps a little bit. But is there something maybe that sets One Way Out, sets it apart from all the other escape room businesses out there? What
I
makes you
think
guys different?
I think our customer service is pretty good, especially having a staff full of enthusiasts and upcoming enthusiasts. Everyone's really passionate about the games and wanting to make sure that the games are run the way that they would want them to be run if they were playing it. But also, I think my experience just from working literally from the bottom of the totem pole all the way up to the top, just my experience
Mhm.
working as a game master and then a designer and now the owner has helped me to know the ins and out of like every aspect of the business so I can relate to my staff more and create a good workplace for them.
How did you find enthusiasts to work there?
I just got really lucky apparently. I
Yeah.
don't I don't know. I have one girl that worked at another escape room in Charlottesville and she had to relocate to Lynchburg. So she has prior escape room experience and really enjoys playing games and just saw the job
And you're
opening
like,
here
we're
and
the
I got
only ones
her.
around, so it's either
Yeah.
you work for us or no one.
Exactly. And then another girl she's from Massachusetts but she just plays escape rooms with her family anywhere she's traveled, so she's done a good number as well.
Nice.
And then my other two employees haven't done a whole lot of escape rooms, but working here has grown their love for escape rooms and they look forward to our team outings and stuff now.
Tell me about your team outings.
We try to do um, traveling to another city to play escape rooms at least twice a year. I usually do every 6 months for that. And that's like a mandatory team building trip where we can go and talk about what we liked and didn't like and how we can make improvements, as well as just having fun and getting to know each other better and working better with each other. But we also
Nice.
do a reward point system where getting like 5-star reviews or selling gift cards type of thing will earn reward points. And if they hit their goal for the month, then the next month we do a smaller team outing in the area. Just last week we did some custom candle making downtown and they had a blast. That was so much fun.
So, and this reward points. So it's not an individual reward. They don't get an individual reward. It's for the group.
Right. It's just as a collective that they earn the reward points. And if we hit that goal as a team, we go out as a team. But we do also offer a $10 bonus when they earn a 4 or 5-star review with their name in it.
Oh, wow. Each one?
Yes.
Oof. Do they get anything for the gift cards?
Not for the gift cards. I thought that'd be a little bit harder to track.
Yeah.
So they just get the reward point for that.
Nice. Wow.
Does
Wow. Cool.
the review have to be a good review? Like, I mean, if it came on like Kurt was
Yeah.
the worst game master, you'd
Yeah,
be
it
like,
has
there's
to
names
be.
in there.
But 5 stars. 5 stars, but he was horrible.
Oh,
Yeah.
it was 5 stars. I knew you say that. Sorry.
Yeah, it does have to be a 4 or 5-star review with their name in it to get the $10. I might would do like a 3-star one if it was a positive 3-star. Some people have interesting rating scale, but
Yeah, that's true. Does your staff wear name tags?
we didn't used to, but we do now. They said that they wanted to wear lanyards with name tags on them so they could put pins and stuff on them too.
Yeah.
So we do
Yeah.
have name tags now, and we also use Escape Kit to send the group photos. So when
Yep.
you get your photo, it also says your game master was Kristina, and then has a picture of your game master so that you can be reminded of their name when you leave a review.
Nice. Nice.
Like that.
Awesome. Look at you. Such a good boss.
Thank
They
you.
they probably love
No, I
working
like these
with you. Because you're
mandatory escape rooms.
yeah. So I'm going to jump back for a second to the marketing because I forgot 12 days of Christmas. What is that about?
We've done a 12 days of giveaways every year since the first year that we opened, and we mostly just reach out to other local businesses and trade our escape room tickets with their tickets or gift cards to their establishment. And then in the past, we've posted every day for 12 days. Here's today's giveaway, tag a friend, comment your favorite pizza topping type thing, and picked a winner that way. But last year we received so many spam comments. It was unbearable. And we also had scammers reaching out to customers with like the whole credit card info thing. So we had some customers calling upset that they gave us their credit card info and didn't receive anything. And I had to let them know that was a scam and it wasn't really us. So this year we're doing it in store, and for every $20 that you spend on a booking, a gift card, or merch, you get one raffle ticket. And then we're just drawing one winner a day every day for 12 days. And then the winner gets sent a Google form of all the prizes, and they get to pick one of the prizes from the list off of that.
Oh, nice. Do you think is that something that brings in people or it just rewards the people who were going to come anyways?
I don't think it brings in any more people, honestly. It does definitely reward the customers that we already have. I think next year I'm going to do it differently because we started in the middle of November and we had a lot of out of town customers coming for the Thanksgiving period. So we had a lot of customers saying, well, I don't live here. How am I going to get my prize kind of thing? So we'll probably wait and do it after Thanksgiving next year.
Yeah. Yeah.
Makes
I
sense.
know when I took over, last year we started our 12 days of giveaways again, and we did have someone comment, I'm so glad the new owner continued this tradition. So now I feel almost like compelled that I have to keep it up, but
You're stuck
it
with it.
is going to be changing just because of scammers and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Stupid scammers.
Right? They ruined everything. That and COVID just ruined everything.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Except that all escape rooms went to private. So, go COVID. Is there something in particular that you'd like to change or improve in your business?
I definitely want to improve our monitoring and hint delivery system similar to what you're experiencing right now. We still have the walkie-talkie system and we don't have mics in the game. So we're just watching your group and then talking via radios. And it can be
What?
challenging at times. So I definitely want to incorporate a new hint system. I've kind of delayed doing that because I expected to be changing rooms out earlier than what I am. And I was like, I'll just incorporate the new system when I build the new room, but they're getting built later than I thought. So I may have to go incorporate them sooner. But thankfully, we haven't experienced too many hiccups. We do get customers that don't understand how to use the radios or can't hear each other very well sometimes. But aside from that, despite not having audio, we're still able to manage the rooms fairly well from what I can tell.
So when I got here, they were using baby monitors.
Mm.
And I was shocked because these are multi-room. And so like one baby monitor might cover 2 rooms. The game hosts were always like, yeah, we can never really hear if they're in this corner or if they're doing this. So one of the first things that we had done was put mics in. And it's been a game changer. But if you only have one room, a cheap way to go is the baby monitors.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
just
very
telling
true.
you,
Yeah,
it would change the game
that would be a
just to be able
good,
to hear them.
yeah, that would be a good temporary thing to have till I build bigger games where I do need mics in like multiple rooms
Yeah,
kind of thing.
because they just put the baby monitor like you have drop ceilings.
One of the games has a drop ceiling.
Yeah, like just right above in the ceiling, and they were able to hear a lot of it.
Okay,
But yeah,
that's pretty good. I'll have to check that out. It's definitely not a good thing that we don't have audio, but I'm proud of us for being able to manage the rooms the way that we have without having it, thankfully.
yeah, yeah. All right.
Sometimes when I go to escape rooms, I forget that they can hear me. And when I'm talking
Yeah.
bad about them, it's like, oh, junk.
Yeah.
But wait, no. So Chris, he's like, when I realize that they could hear me talking bad about them, I speak up.
That's
Oh my
right.
gosh.
That's true sometimes too. They need to know. They need to know.
My sister and I both mumble and talk quiet anyways, so we constantly get told after playing a game that they had no idea what we were working on because we're just
Yeah.
apparently communicating telepathically. So in the moments where you do have something negative to say, we talk even quieter. I feel
Yeah.
confident they don't hear us since they can't hear the good stuff we're saying. But
That's
I don't know.
I feel like I am the helper and I am helping them be better. So
That's a good way to look at it, yeah.
hashtag be better.
You're like, I'm doing the Lord's work.
That's right. We say all the time here at staff, we want to get shirts that just say hashtag be better because come on,
true.
people.
Come on.
love
I
it.
love it. Oh, what's some advice you might give to someone who is looking to buy their own escape room business or start their own up?
I don't know that I have very much advice for trying to figure out where or how to buy one because I wasn't even looking to buy. It just kind of fell into my lap. But as far as taking over an existing business, I would say definitely work to create a good staff, even if that means having to get rid of bad eggs that you acquired. Just making sure you have a good staff is gonna ensure that everything else goes good as well.
Yeah. Can you leave your staff or are you there all the time?
Now I can leave my staff, yes.
Yeah.
I am here regularly, but I'm not working like every single shift with them and taking some inspiration from PuzzleCon with Mallory talking about needing to hand off some buckets. I've
Mm-hmm.
actually done like a mini con with my employees and started handing some of them buckets, and they're doing phenomenal with it. I made one girl my communications specialist, so she handles a lot of the emails and phone calls and messages and stuff. And
Nice.
another girl is my maintenance specialist, so she comes in to fix props and just make sure everything's looking good and running smoothly and just fixing things as they break. And then I have another girl that she doesn't know yet, but I'm making her my advertising specialist as long as she'll accept. I think she will. She's really great at making videos and stuff. So she'll be making like a new rules video and some intro videos for our games. That'll be exciting. I'm really lucky to have a really creative staff. They're really great at everything they do.
Do you, giving them these buckets, is there any kind of incentive, like extra hours, extra pay, anything like that?
Yes, they do come with extra pay and extra hours. Just wanted
Nice.
to create that like staying culture that PuzzleCon was talking about as well. I really appreciate and I'm thankful for the employees that I have now. So I want to create an environment that they want to stay in so that I don't have to look for more employees anytime soon.
And you're able to do all this by selling $22 tickets.
Thankfully, yes.
Yeah,
Um,
wow, good for you.
yeah, I'm really grateful. I don't currently work another job either, so
Yeah.
I just work at One Way Out, and thankfully we bring in enough to be able to do the team outings and be able to support myself as well, and then still bring in some money to build some games. And increasing the ticket prices will bring in that extra money even faster to build new games even sooner because I know everyone's
Mhm.
always looking for some new games.
And you're still able to feed your herd of cats?
Yes, thankfully.
Okay, good, good. Yeah, I mean, we're not even quite breaking even yet, so at that point it'd be nice to be able to offer that kind of thing. So
Yeah, for
hopefully
sure.
that'll be at some point. So what does the future hold for One Way Out?
I definitely want to expand. I'm hoping that'll happen sooner rather than later, but even if it happens later, I do want to expand and instead of demolishing games, just offer more games, kind of similar to Escape from Herndon, I think was saying they didn't want to shut down their Maritime Mutiny game. So I'd
Yeah.
love to do some expansion.
So expansion, like you talked about upstairs. You already have that space?
We have a room upstairs. It's not like a whole
Okay.
level. Like, you just go up some steps and you're in
The
another room
attic.
that's probably like 300-ish square feet.
Okay.
Um,
And
yeah,
then
I
expand,
started.
you're talking like the next door kind of thing, or
Yeah, we're in a strip mall and we're on
Mhm.
one end of the strip mall, and I know the other end unit is becoming available soon. So that's where I'm
Gotcha.
hoping to expand to. But if that doesn't happen, then I would consider going downtown or to the mall or to a warehouse or something.
Okay.
I know the
Okay.
malls reached out to me about going over there, but that might be a little expensive. Um,
Yeah,
Right.
those are
and
expensive.
then, oh, I also want to start. We've had a couple field trips come in, so I wanted to take some inspiration from y'all's camp counselor talk and doing like the escape bags kind of thing, setting
Mhm.
up like workshops or mini escape room in a bags for the field trips that come in and start really leaning into that. And I also want to create like a portable 5 to 10 minute escape room, like kind of a box thing, not a room, but a
Hmm.
box that you can put on a table, start showing up at vendor events more as part of our advertising, just kind of get the word out there, bring in a mini escape room. And we
Yeah.
Yeah.
also one of our games, The Lost Professor, someone asked to play in Spanish, and I was like, we don't
Oh,
have
wow.
anything in Spanish right now. But I thought about it, and I thought The Lost Professor would be the easiest game to be able to translate into Spanish if need be. So I actually worked with Javi, who was at
Hmm.
PuzzleCon, New Hampshire and everything. I worked with her, and she translated all the clue sheets for me. Amazing. Bless her.
Right.
And I had a group come in and play like 90% in Spanish. There was one puzzle we couldn't translate without having to completely rebuild something, but that went really well. So I'd love to start offering our games in multiple languages as well.
Orale. And then
It would be so hard when they ask for a hint, though, if you don't speak Spanish.
right.
You're
That's
like,
true.
I don't know what you
Yeah.
asked for, but let me tell you what number 2 says here.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
That's a very good point.
Is there a large Hispanic population there in Lynchburg?
Probably not large enough to make it worth translating all of my games, but if I could
Yeah.
solidify offering The Lost Professor in like a really smooth Spanish experience, then I would love to do that.
Cool. Love that. All right. Well, now we are at our speed round time. And this is how it works. Chris will ask you a question. You can answer that with one sentence and no expanding on it. If you want to expand after the speed round ends, then we can do that.
Amazing.
All right, Chris, take it away.
All right. What is your favorite nonfiction book?
I don't think I have one.
Okay. What is your favorite fiction book?
The Hunger Games.
Good one. What is your favorite escape games that you've played?
Probably Magnifico Circus in Montreal.
Montreal. Just stop, Kurt. Don't even bug me about it. What is one game or location you really want to play or visit?
Orlando, just as a whole, like everything.
Yeah, there's a lot down there. Favorite board game?
The Game of Life, the Twists and Turns version.
Twisted. I
It's
haven't heard of that
electronic.
one. Oh, fancy. Favorite YouTuber or TikTok channel?
The FRDi Show.
Okay. One person or couple we should contact to invite on the podcast.
Josh and Tay from the Exit Games.
Is that the magician one that we did?
Yeah.
Yep. I would love to talk to them.
Yeah. Yeah.
My favorite game I've ever done in my life is the Servants of Slight.
That was my favorite game until we did Magnifico Circus in October.
And that's the one in Montreal.
Yes.
Because Chris and his wife refuse to get passports and won't go with us, we are doing the REA tour
Yes.
in June. So
Yeah,
we're going up there and we're going to do a bunch.
That's so
First of all,
exciting.
do you know what June is like around here at camp? Second,
No, I didn't ask you to go in June. We would have got any time if you two would go with us.
I'm so done flying. I have to drive everywhere now. After going to Seattle, I'm done with airplanes.
All right, we'll drive there. We're driving. I mean, we're a lot closer now, but
we drove from Virginia up there.
See, they drove.
Montreal.
Who went? It was just you and your boyfriend?
Yeah, me and my boyfriend went, and because their games have like the 3 and 4 person minimums, we reached out on Facebook and were able to find people to join us for all of the games, thankfully. And everyone we met was so nice, and the games were amazing. I was so bummed, like the second we left, it felt like REA announced the trip, and I was like, no, I totally would have done the trip if we hadn't just gone, but I'll have to wait for a different one to show up.
Yeah. What is Game of Life Twists and Turns edition?
It's an electronic version of Life, so it comes with this little like circular electronic thing, and everybody gets a credit card, so when it's your turn, you stick the credit card in and it does all the money that you're making manually. It's so much fun. Yeah.
That is cool.
Not heard of that. Check that out.
I like Bop It.
Bop It's fun.
I don't know why I thought about that, but I remember playing Bop It. I like that. Not
I
this
like
board
Phase
game.
10 too, but I don't think that's a board game.
I've never played Phase 10. Yeah.
It's so much
But
fun.
10Z.
Yeah.
That's not a board game, but it's fun. I mean, those are all kind of in the board game genre, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're just
10Z's
gonna
loud.
play them on the board.
Too many people rolling dice.
That's true. That's true.
And box 1, of course, is amazing.
I got box 1, and I don't know, about 3/4 of it just kind of fizzled out for me.
Mm.
I don't know. First, I was just like, it is very creative, and I do want to play box too, but I know everybody loves it, and it just didn't hit with me for some reason.
I loved it.
Neil, if you're listening, sorry, no offense.
You can still come on our podcast.
I love you. The only part I didn't like about box one was like the waiting period, which I think you had to wait 24 hours at one point, and then I saw someone say you don't actually have to wait 24 hours, but I don't know. Either way, I didn't like waiting. I just wanted to play it in one session.
I think that's where it lost. I know it's for one period, but Tina and I were playing it, and I think that's where it was when we came back to it after that time. We were just like,
Right.
you know.
Exactly.
Do you have any stories of like an unusual group or incident that happened at your business?
One of the more recent ones was a girl bringing her boyfriend in for his birthday, but he wasn't supposed to know where he was coming. So they put in AirPods and blasted like the top 20 worst songs on YouTube or something and put a bag over his head and bound his wrists together and just brought him in completely blind and then surprised him in the escape room. Like, here we are. And he loved it. It was great, but definitely got some funny looks from the other customers. Yeah.
You witnessed a kidnapping, is what you.
And the victim really enjoyed it, apparently. We couldn't hear him say "help me" because we don't have mics in the rooms, but
that's so funny.
Oh my goodness, that is crazy.
Several years ago, one of our original games was Escape Detention, and a group of teachers came in to have a very lit night. So they were all drunk, and one just passed out on the teacher's desk for the entirety of the game. But they had a blast, and that's what matters. So
wow. They didn't break anything?
No, they didn't.
Very cool. All right. Well, what's the best way everyone can follow you, contact you, reach you? How do you want people to know your info?
I'm usually on Facebook and Instagram. Facebook, it's Kristina with a K, Marie, Viar, that's V as in Victor, IAR. And Instagram is This Is Kristina Marie.
No TikTok?
I am on TikTok, but that's probably not the best way to reach me.
Yeah, that's true. Do you have like a business TikTok? Do you do much on there?
We do. I think it's One Way Out Escapes. That's one of my employees runs that. I don't look at that much.
Okay. It's good to have employees just do all that stuff.
Exactly.
I don't have any employees who are interested in doing any of it, unfortunately. Yeah.
I'll do it for you. You send me some pictures of place. I'll do your TikTok.
Okay. I love your stuff, man. Hilarious. I need to learn CapCut is what it comes down to.
So easy. So easy.
Yeah. I just need to practice with it. But well, Kristina, thank you for taking the time and talking with us. You have done incredible with this business. I'm sure your staff love you. I love a lot of the stuff you're doing, and I'm going to take inspiration from all the cool things that you do for my business. Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for having me. I'm looking forward to having you visit, and I'll of course come visit you as well. My boyfriend and I are hoping to do a road trip in New England this upcoming fall, so we'd love to stop by your place then as well.
That's awesome. Well, thank you again.
Yeah, thank you guys so much.
Well, that's the end of this batch of mystery soup. Keep your minds sharp and your puzzles brewing until next time. We're Kurt and Chris, where the plot always thickens. See you soon.
See ya.
Mystery soup. Mystery soup. Mystery soup.